did.
think we're going to
I
finish.
apologize. I take it back. You're right. I take it back. I think at the moment you got to be a third behind those three teams. I think if you look at the overall package Deluded, I think that look at the squads. I think we have probably now the third best squad, best defense still, but overall back to front, I think those squads are better than our squads. Um, I mean, even City. I mean, the City have bought some good players, but you
Cherky.
never know how they're going to land. So I'm putting us third, but we don't know how Shirky's going to. But that doesn't always translate to Premier League football. So
Fair
I'd
point.
put us second slash third in terms of squad. Okay, managers. Well, Pep's a better manager than Mikel Arteta. I mean, you could debate is Arteta better than Arnie Slot? Well, Slot's got a Prem title in his first year. Now look, Ranieri's got one Prem
And
title.
some Dutch trophies.
Yeah, so it's a debate. I mean, point I'm making is we haven't got the best squad of the three. We haven't got the best manager of the three. So if you haven't got the best squad, you've got the best manager, you're having to really punch above your weight to come above those two teams. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Then you have, which for me, there's no way of measuring this Deluded, but I think you'll know you're a ball man. You know what I mean. There's a residue of understanding how to win that I think Liverpool, they've won it, but City
They
have
had
got
muscle memory from last season,
muscle
really, in there.
memory, brethren. They have recent history of being there and having done it. We ain't got that. We can't rely on all right, we haven't got the best squad or the best manager, but we do have a squad that has recent memory of getting the job done. We ain't got that either. So they, on all three metrics, manager, squad, and know-how, we're second at best on all three of those
Exactly.
metrics. Do you know what I mean? So it ain't looking good, bruv. It ain't looking good. So I'm just saying. So in that sense, and then you're saying out of the three, Deluded. I think Newcastle are three signings away from giving us a problem. I think they're
You know
three
what? You're
good
the second
signings away.
person that said that this week to me, you know.
They are three signings away from putting themselves in the mix. I'm telling you, if we're not careful, they might overtake us. So at the moment, I'm not panicking. I'm not stressing. I'm not losing my head. But we're definitely not in a position where I'm confident we can go into battle and win. Not at this point, no.
No, you're right, man. That's the only reason I asked you, because I like to judge the temperature on just how my fellow Arsenal fans are feeling at this moment in time. I feel we're going to finish third. I want to give it a good fight, obviously get over the
Mm.
line and all of that. But then I do feel, and internally at Arsenal is very different, but externally, the first 10 games, which we'll get onto in a minute, it could get dark. I do think when the managers come out and talked about goosebumps and we know it need to deliver, and the frustration of the two previous years, we're under no illusions that we need to get over the line in some capacity. I know many people in the off season, after seeing what other clubs are doing, will sit there and say, "Oh, a trophy's a trophy, silverware, silverware." Arteta didn't get none, which is right. But if he only delivers a League Cup and or an FA Cup, I don't feel that will suffice in many fans' eyes. Really, you need to
I
win one of
agree.
the two big trophies. And that's why I actually I wanted to test the sentiment, man.
I agree, brother. I think a lot of fans like me who are supporters of Arteta and rate Arteta and back Arteta, I think last year was the year where he would have got away. For me, he would have kind of I would have been fine with a trophy, a title race and a League Cup would have for me would have been I'd have accepted that. But the longer you go now without winning anything, it means there's more pressure now that you've got to win the big one. So next year,
Yep.
I don't know if I will be so happy with a title race in the League Cup. That might sound like big club privilege, but I'm sorry when you've been given the money he's been given, and I don't. I think there's definitely been um, a misrepresenting of the amount of money that he's spent and what
Million
that should
percent.
equate to. But one thing we can't deny, he's been given a lot of money. He's been given 6 years. Some would say he was arguably over promoted to get the job in the first place. So having been given all of that to not even deliver a trophy. I know you got the FA Cup. Okay, first season FA Cup, fine. Let's take the last 4.5, 5 years. To not even have got to a final, I think that's really, really bad. So, so my boy colleague there taking the miss. So I think the longer this goes on, Deluded, the more the bar goes up in terms of what is seen as acceptable from fans like
A
me.
hundred
Like I said,
percent.
I don't know if a League Cup, when you're hungry, and you've gone without food for so long, some would say you take whatever you can get. Me, if I wait this long for food, I want the big thing. I'm not doing Nando's. I want the Nobu. I want the steak with the golden. You know
A
what I mean?
million percent.
I want the big team, Regiment. I'm waiting this long.
Or
Don't
seconds
come
and
in no
thirds and
fries
my
and
dessert, to
no.
be fair.
Come on, man. Give me the proper thing, man. I've waited this long. I want the best. And for me, that's the Prem. So he's putting more and more pressure on himself by not getting to. Because even if he got to a couple of finals and lost, I still think there'll be people that be like, okay, he really is getting closer and closer. But his cup record is horrific. And I think he's living at the moment off of his progression and his league performances.
A
So
100%.
I think he's going to deliver the big one next year. Whether he does or not, I don't know. I'm not again in this camp of he's got to win the big trophy or he's got to go. I think that's a very, very basic way of looking at football. It's a very emotional way of looking at football, and I'm not an emotional person when it comes to football, so I would never say that. But the pressure's on. The pressure's on, bruv.
And that ties into my second question. Obviously, you don't work for Arsenal, so it's doesn't really matter what you or I have to say. But if we skip this season, like so the 2025-26 season, and we assume the exact thing took place in that we're second, two semi-finals, we went out of the FA Cup on penalties, do you think he would be sacked? Because I don't, you know.
I don't think he's in danger of getting fired at the moment. Repeat your scenario again. If you got to where? Sorry.
So like this season where we got to two semi-finals, we went out the FA Cup on penalties, and we finished second. Exactly how it finished this year. Fast forward into next season, if it finished in the same way, in terms of just where we finished, I don't necessarily think he'll get sacked. I wanted to know
No,
your viewpoints.
no, I agree. He's not getting fired because as long as he can bring in the Champions League money and the illusion of being
Yeah,
competitive is still there, i.e., we finished second, runners up. Last year wasn't second. We finished second
false image.
statistically, but yeah, we was never in the race. Yeah, but I think as long as he can put up that the illusion of being competitive is still there, and Champions League money is still coming in, I think he's got a bit more time. I think the fan base might feel different, but as you say, from
Restless.
a club point of view, I don't think there'll be any kind of pressure to lose his job at all. No, no.
And I'm with you with that, man. I need to ask you as well. What do you? I know you've probably seen it. What did you make of the fixture calendar list?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Especially the
not
first
easy.
6 to 10 games, man. It's a
Yeah,
madness.
the first six is sticky, brother. It's sticky, but I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's not great, but first of all, just get on with it. Let's go. Play everyone twice. Some of those big games are out the way early. But second of all, it's all the more reason to get your stuff lined up in terms of personnel early.
Another thing
Doing good,
everyone I speak to keeps saying as well.
yeah, I mean, doing good business and bringing in good players doesn't guarantee you anything. It doesn't. I've seen teams have great transfer windows and not succeed, but it increases your chances. It increases your chances
Heavily.
if you get your players in, the players that you want, get them assimilated in, get them understanding your football and your way of playing ASAP, get them comfortable with their teammates, get them comfortable with the pace of how we play. Well, the quicker you do that, you don't guarantee anything, but you increase your chances, in my opinion, of giving yourself a good chance of succeeding. So, with the fixture list we've got, I mean, I don't think it's too big a shot to say if that first six games comes and goes and we've not started very, very well, we could be out of the race before we're even in it. Do you know what I mean?
What
If
from
we,
the Man United game?
what I'm the first six games I'm talking.
Oh.
Let's say we lose that first game, we beat Leeds. Let's say we lose to Liverpool, and after Liverpool, I think it's Newcastle.
Forest. Let me zoom in.
Sorry, we beat Forest. So I'm looking at the screen now. It's Forest. Let's say we beat Forest, then we lose to Newcastle. Let's say, and then we have was it West Ham after
Yeah,
Newcastle?
West Ham, Fulham. Well, West Ham at home, Fulham away, Crystal Palace at home.
Now, the people say those three games that should be 9 points. The last two seasons, those guys have beaten us.
These are the games that we kind of F up with. Like, do you know what it's
Yeah,
for me? I'm not saying like Anfield is scary. We should be beating Manchester United, but we don't have the best of records at Old Trafford. But fans love to tell us about our top six record, which is true. We've had a good 2 years in that regards. So we should be filled with confidence. And naturally, people think pre-season is this magical place. You just F off for 2 weeks and everyone's amazing. Everyone's chasing fitness and everything. So we're not going to see where
100%,
all the teams are in terms of fitness until probably past the 10 game mark. So this is
one
probably
hundred
come at
percent.
the best possible time. But maybe I'm tweaking a bit. But And I know we haven't been amazing in the top 6 games. I know everyone's focused on Man United away, Liverpool away, Newcastle away, City at home, which is a tasty fixture. For me, though, it's the Leeds at home. It's the Forest is at home.
I
It's like what you
agree.
was alluding to.
I
These
agree.
are the games we were like, ooh, what's going on here? We
And
shoot
they're the
ourselves in the foot.
games. They're the games, Deluded, that win you titles. It's the game against the
Exactly.
mid. You need to beat all the mid-table teams, home and away. That's what wins titles. You can lose away at Anfield. You can lose away at Etihad. You can even maybe lose one of those games at home. The games that really win you titles is beating the rest. Beat the rest home and away. They're the ones
Right.
that I think decide the title. So yeah, it's not the easiest of starts for us, but I would argue Man United start is harder. Liverpool start isn't particularly nice. So the saving grace I think we've possibly got is that even if we don't start off well, I'd be stunned, Deluded, stunned if our rivals do get maximum points. I'll be stunned. I've looked at City start. I've looked at Liverpool start. If they get maximum points from their first 6 games, I will be stunned. So even though we might drop points, I'm pretty sure the others will too. But I look at it like this. Let's go positive. If you can get through those 6 games and win 5 of them, with 5 of them, you've got Liverpool away, United away, Newcastle away, all out of the way
First battle
already.
against City out the way as well.
Yes, you've got them big trips away from home, all out of the way, nice and early. So look at it positive. If you can get away from Anfield and Etihad, not Etihad, sorry, and St James's Park with a draw, that's not the worst thing. I was saying forever to the boys, and they disagreed with me, which is fine. I'm not so sure a draw at Old Trafford first game of the season is a disaster.
There's
What,
37
what, do-
more
what do you
games.
think?
I don't think it's a disaster in hindsight, but it's you do want to win that game. It's kind of sets the sentiment. It might be one where we look back in hindsight as to that's where we drop points and where we could have not where we could have lost the league. You can't necessarily win a league in the first 6 games, but you can't win it in the first 6 games, but you could lose it. I don't think
No,
it'd be catastrophic, but it would set a negative tone. As we know, such is life in the season for Arsenal next year. Every game we win, we're going to win the league. Every year, every game we lose or draw, it's Arteta out and stuff. So
no.
for me, it's about the tone.
I hear you. And if we were to lose, we know our fan base, what they're like, right?
And you
But I
never want to
just
lose to United as well with their
you
fans,
don't
man.
lose to United, but I'm looking at it like
We wouldn't die
they're
though.
shit. But they're shit, right? They're dead food, right? So team for team, we're levels above them. But first game of the season, try no, they'll be up for it.
They're on
That
it.
place will be rocking in Buomo, Kuna. They'll be up for it. So I think it's a harder
True.
game than we're giving credit to.
Just look at
Yeah,
last year. David Raya and Declan Rice got us out of jail. We was messing about. So you
there you
never know
go.
what's going to happen
There
in the
you
game.
go. There you go. But I don't tend to think of excuses for these fixture things. Everyone's got to play everybody. Look,
Exactly.
it's not the nicest of starts, but the way the Premier League is now, Deluded. Who are the easy games? Who are the easy games?
Exactly. Exactly.
Half
I
the
can't
league.
see one in the
If you
first
get
9, let alone 6. I
if
wouldn't say Forest is easy. The
if
first 3 aren't. That's definitely not. West
if you
Ham
draw
isn't.
if you draw probably half the league away first game of the season, plus promoted teams, you're probably pissed. So I don't know what an easy first couple of games could be anyway.
Our
Do you
first
know what I
easy
mean?
game probably should be Sunderland, but again, they're going to be giggity. They've just got
Promoted
promoted.
teams are a problem, bro.
Yeah.
You don't want to promote a team on the first game of the season. You don't
And
want
you
that.
don't want to go to their play. The away games in the Premier League or in football, that's where you're like, oh, or certainly where I am, because you don't know.
Yeah,
People are
man.
feeding off the fans and all that.
So I think you need to win your first game of the season, get off to a start, get your early 3 points in the bag nice and early. I'm just saying, if we were to draw that game, I mean, performance pending. If we draw, we were lucky to get a draw. That's a problem. But I don't think sitting here now, and I might change my tune near the time. I don't think a 1-1 is the worst result in that first game of the season.
We won't die. We won't die. It just means like we've just got to get with it with Leeds, if I'm honest with you. We got a super chat. Big up yourself, F for that. What are our chances of beating Liverpool at Anfield? Where you at with that? Oof.
Um, Probably unlikely. They'll be the favourites. We've actually played quite well, and for the last 2 seasons, but
Just need
actually,
to
if
get
you
over the
remember,
line.
we were
Last
two
three
years
years in
ago.
particular, actually.
I forgot of the third one, but 2 years ago we were 2 up, killing them.
That's
No,
the one
sorry,
I'm
three
referring
years
to.
ago was the Shaka one. We should have won that game. Shaka killed us. Shaka killed us.
And Zinny.
Yeah, but I think Shaka more so because he wound them up, and then and then Trent got turned up, and our performances in the last 3 years at Anfield have not been bad.
Got
Um,
out of jail, not the season that just went, the year before when we wore the yellow kit, where everyone
that's
remember
right.
Declan Rice
That's
defending by
right.
himself in the
That's
Odegaard pen.
right. That's right. That's
And then
right.
last
That's
year,
right.
like the season was done in it. It
It
weren't
was
really
done.
pressured. They were probably drunk.
Yeah.
Is what it
I,
is.
I, I think. Look, maybe this is the year to go there and win and get that hoodoo off our back. Let's just go there looking to win. Will I put money on us winning there? No. But I think we have to kind of carry ourselves we've got to carry ourselves like we're a big boy. We've got to carry ourselves like we are, we're Arsenal Football Club. We're a good
Exactly.
team. Let's
We
not
want
go
to
there
be
like
at this
some
big
little
boy
man.
table now.
Hmm?
We want to be at this big boy table. We got to do big
Yeah,
boy
man.
stuff. Can't
We're not a
cry.
little man. Let's go to Anfield looking to win that game and slap off your ass. You know what I mean? Let's go there to do. Let's not go there like we're some little team. But if you get out there with a point, no one's gonna complain. Especially getting that game out the way so early in the season.
And that's the main thing. Like, I don't want to jump ahead too much. I wouldn't cry if we drew against Liverpool. Of course, I want to win. We ain't won at Anfield in a minute, and I don't think the big games are necessarily our problem. But I
Mm.
do look at the City and Liverpool in particular, and based on what you said, actually, you could throw Newcastle in that. They're kind of six pointers in it, especially in a day and age of
Yeah.
fine margins. If you could take 3 points of City and Liverpool in particular, it does give me a spring in our step, because there's a reality where you beat those teams and we still don't win the league. But I am starting to feel we've got to do that, if I'm honest, man, especially
I,
at Anfield.
I agree. And just kind of finally on the fixture thing, I looked at our running, and look, you can't. It's hard to look forward to May and June that far ahead because you don't know how the season will pan out. But the running doesn't look too bad.
What, from April to May? Yeah.
Yeah, brother. If we're
Oh,
in
I
the
don't
race,
know, George, man.
look,
City
last game of
away,
the season,
Newcastle at home, Fulham, West Ham. These are the games where, like, oh,
that is also true. But I'd rather play Fulham than Newcastle.
oh,
I'd
this is
rather
better than.
play
I'd rather have this run than if we reverse the start and the end of
exactly,
the season.
exactly.
100%.
That's my point. If we're in the race with 5, 6 games to go, that running is not nasty. Because look, think about it. If we're in the running come May, what's that? May 2nd, we
Mm.
should beat Fulham. If we're in the running for the title come May 2nd, that means we're doing well.
What
So
if
we
it's the
should
last
beat.
day of the season, Palace away though, and we're
Yeah, I
still
mean,
fighting for the title on the last day?
yeah,
That scares me.
yeah. Listen,
We need to do the job.
Palace aren't mugs, but I'm just there's harder games to finish the season with than
100%.
Palace away. Is my point. You know what I mean?
It's techie, man. It's techie. Do you know what? You are right in that. The only
Will
thing
be
I would
fun.
say, we should be winning them, but the only thing I would say is Fulham at home, West Ham away. These are the kind of games at that moment in the season, like, we do start messing about. But hopefully, we've learned for the previous 3 years, and
I hope
fourth
so.
time lucky is a thing.
I hope
What do you
so.
think? What do you think of December then? December and January, because for me, my bias in the Premier League season when it's announced, I look towards that purely because it's squeaky bum time. The game's coming thick and
I,
fast. The Champions League and everything's a thing by then.
in terms of opponents, I think it's pretty nice.
Bare games though.
Yeah, but everyone's got better games in that period. But look at the actual games. Villa at home. I know they've beaten us once, twice in the last few years, but
Villa,
I'd still
Villa
back us to win
twice.
that game.
Madness.
Yeah, but Brighton at home. I know they've done stuff. These games at home. If we're serious, deluded, these are games we should be winning. Like, okay, Brentford at home, we
Million
should
percent.
win that. Villa away, all right, that might be a you take a point. Wolves at home should win. Everton away should win.
Techie
Uh,
though, Goodison Park. Well, not Goodison Park anymore, but yeah.
yeah. Listen, if we're serious, those are games we should win. December and January, I think, is quite a. It's an okay period. It's an okay period
Put
to
up or
try and
shut
get
up
some
time.
points on the board. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go.
I don't think
No
you're
tears. No,
capping.
no tears.
Bro, there's no tears left. Just if these boys want to get over the line, let's get over the line. I actually feel sorry for the fans and the players, not so much Arteta and those above him, but Barberta, because he's just come in. We need to just be serious, just get over the line now. I've got no anger, I've got no happiness. I don't want to see things negatively or positively. I just want to see things for what they are. And we've got a good team. We've not been able to get over the line. Let's make sure we're able to get over the line. Or come May, naturally, I think you have to try something different. Like, not to shout at the guy or whatever. It's just how much time you're going to do the same thing, relying on something
Mm,
different. It don't
agreed.
make sense. Whether that's
It's a
going to
big. It's a
happen
big
is
year for
another
him.
thing, though.
It's a big
Exactly.
year. It's a big year for us. So I agree with that.
So in the first 6 games, yeah, final thing on this calendar part, yeah, first 6 games, what is a guesstimate of points we should be trying to get?
Oh, I can't. I hate doing that as well because
This guy
it's
is
difficult.
everything, man.
It's difficult. It's difficult to kind of predict, too much ahead because yeah, it's just difficult. It's difficult because I expect to beat United,
I
but
need
our record
13
there
points
isn't
minimum.
great. You need how many
I need about 13 points.
out of the first six?
Mm.
6, 9, 12,
Because I think
15.
I've given us margin for error there.
So what? A couple of defeats against Liverpool, and Newcastle.
Like Liverpool, it goes either way. Can't really predict that. St James's Park, they've had our number. I'm quite confident against City. I know they want to end that scout because they got embarrassed last year, but I think we'll do our thing. Forest, I don't want to say I'm not worried about Forest, but if we're
I
serious, like
think
you said,
Forest.
go win
I
them.
think. I think Forest at home is a banana skin.
I think
Serious.
Leeds, you know.
We'll be Leeds. We'll be Leeds.
I hope so. But now, do you know what? Forest and Leeds, probably more going to be Forest, but
I,
they're the
I, I
games.
I think Forest is the banana skin. I think that's the one. I've got a gut feeling something could go wrong there. But we'll see. We'll see.
Fingers, everything crossed, man. I want to ask you as well, yo. Like, do you think Arsenal fans, in relation to the transfer market, you know how it is? You're seeing what other teams are doing. Do you think people started panicking too early? Not that we've done anything to scream and shout about just yet.
Yeah, man. Cause we're in this ecosystem now where transfer markets are like an industry of itself. And this is why I don't like chatting about transfers and all this stuff because you just get sucked into this whole crap of wishing for players that most of the time you're never gonna get, but also you start comparing. You just did it there, like everyone's like Liverpool have done this and done that. Well, that's their business. Like
Start
as
watching
long
other
as Arsenal
people's
get the
stuff.
players
Yeah,
they need by their deadline, that's all that really matters. So I'm not really watching no face, not really watching to see what other teams do. I've got an eye on what they're doing because I need to see the competition, but I'm not equating what they're doing to mean that we should be doing X, Y, Z. The club, they need to kind of do what they're doing, but you have to trust they've got a bit of a plan. I'll be honest, at the moment, it doesn't look that way. Doesn't look that way at the moment. I'll be real, but you have to kind of believe that they want to win. So if they want to win, then they've got to do what they've got to do to kind of give themselves the best chance of winning. But this transfer window, I hate it. I hate it. It turns people into idiots. It turns fans into real idiots to
because
the
they burnt us
idiots.
on fraud watch already.
It's just like, come on, man, give the guy a chance. You know what I mean? People just want to make
Ridiculous. It's
content.
emotional.
Well, yeah, man. It's like I said to the boys on Forever. I'm not chatting about Chesco and even you, Chesco and thing
Yeah,
anymore. It's
I people. This
boring.
guy was adamant. We're not talking about Sesko or
I'm not
Gyökeres.
doing it, Brethren. It's boring. And it's you're repeating the same old stuff. You're saying the same old stuff. It's so boring. And it's like let's wait until someone actually gets something done, and then we can and then we can judge it. But right about now, I'm only just making content for content's sake, saying the
We're
same
joining the
old
club.
shit, same old thumbnail, same old headline. It's just like, come on, man, just give me something different or shut your mouth.
I hear it. I hear it. Let me ask you this then. Like, let's try to deal with things that look like they're happening. Like, before
Yeah.
I talk about Nodgard, yeah, like, what do you make of Thomas Partey? Because it looks like he's walking away. Do you think that's a L? Like, what's all your thoughts with Thomas
I'm
Partey and
not. You,
losing
you
him?
know what, Deluded? I'm not actually devastated that he's going. And what I mean by that is I'm not if the reports to be believed and he's